So, the second dimension is innovation. Strategy and innovation are two sides of the same coin. That is the reason for why I am presenting this as a two-dimensional element, because there are two sides of the same coin. Strategy is about having a sustainable competitive advantage, growing your business, expanding, and so on, right. So, all of these are related to innovation as well. So, innovation is what drives a lot of these strategies as well. So, it is a two-way street, right. So, that is why I have combined these 5 two-dimensional elements, right. So, the second one is process and workflow, right. As I said earlier, business processes are the execution engine. In the world of digital, these business processes are even more critical, because you are talking about real-time real-time sensing and reaction, right, real-time sensing and reacting. That's what is expected of every company in many cases, right. Whether you call them up for customer support, or you want to actually buy something and you want to have some clarification, for example, while you are in the purchase. Business process and workflow is really what enables that, right, that conversation to happen and in near real time in many cases, right. So, the process and workflow are also two sides of the same coin, right. The business processes allow you to define how you want to conduct your business, and so you are able to scale, right. You can serve many more customers, hundreds of thousands of customers, if you have a well-defined business process that is automated, that is driven by digital business processes, obviously, right. I am speaking in the context of digital world. So, whenever I mention process and workflow, for example, it would be in digital business process, right. Workflow is related to the application, right. Application is what actually renders your business process. So, you may be familiar with applications like ERP, CRM, right. Those are applications, and supply chain management, for example. Those are the 3 key applications that every enterprise has, right, big and small, right. So, these key applications, enterprise applications, are how you basically encode your business process. You codify it in these applications, and these applications basically make your business process automate your business process essentially, right. And so, there is a concept of workflow in as well. Workflow is basically your approval process, and which is also another internal process in a business process, right. So, sub processes, you can consider workflow as a sub process. So, but workflow is very focused on the task at hand. So, workflow is for a particular decision that you want to make, right, as opposed to the business process, which is broader. Okay. So, that is the distinction. So, workflow and business process are two sides of the same coin, right. They influence each other. So, that is the second one, right. We are going to go deeper into those. So, third one is people and organization, right. People and organization, again, this is another two-dimensional element, right. So, people bring skills, the human intelligence, right, thought process and cognitive abilities into companies. Organization provides a structure, right. It provides form, function, and a structure for all of us to actually showcase our talents, right, and help the organization grow, and that helps us build our own career paths, that helps us in paying for our own lifestyle that we want, right. So, that's people and organization is another important two-dimensional element, right. That is the third element. So, these 3 elements, strategy and innovation, process and workflow, people and organization, are what I call as soft skills area. These are non-technical, in non-digital, non-technology related, so to speak, but obviously they incorporate digital technology in terms of enabling strategy, enabling your process, and even enabling people in learning, right. So, right now I am delivering this video stream on digital technology, right, for you to be able to learn at any time. So, organization structures as well, right? Organizations have invested in applications that I just mentioned about in order to render the business process, and using those business process you can actually execute on the strategy. So that's the connection between these three, right? Important connection to sort of think about. So the next two are very interesting because they are really focused more on the technology side of things. Technology and infrastructure, that's the other fourth dimension, fourth two-dimensional element, if you will, right? So technology and infrastructure go together. What is infrastructure? Infrastructure is basically your computing resources, your networking, and your software, right? Storage, for example, right? So your hardware, software, all of them are part of your infrastructure, right? Technology is basically you talk only about, when you talk about technology, I'm referring to information technology. Okay, so information technology is basically hardware, your software, and your services, for example. Those form those form sort of the technology components, technology services. What I mean by services is technology services, right? So all of these form what is called as information technology. Infrastructure is mainly focused on providing you with computing, storage, and networking resources, just to reiterate what I said earlier. So technology and infrastructure are two-dimensional. They obviously influence each other, very much so, right? So cloud technology enable cloud infrastructures, for example, right? So technology and infrastructure is a very important part of every company now, right? Information technology is no longer the same. We are in an information revolution, right? In the industrial revolution, the focus was on manufacturing. In the information revolution, the focus should be on how to leverage technology and infrastructure. Very, very important. It doesn't matter how big a company you are or how small you are. Every company has to leverage technology and infrastructure in some form or the other. I was just talking to a small mom and pop store in the Bay Area that sells exotic furniture, artwork, and so on, right? Aggregated from different parts of the world. This lady goes around different parts of the world. She likes to travel. She collects things. She brings them here. She gets them shipped here, and she sells them, right? Basically, she has a shop in one of the streets, popular streets in the Bay Area, and so people go by and they go in and buy these antiques or whatever, right? Unique products that she sells. So she's old. She's becoming older, right? So she wants to find other ways to actually survive or earn money, so to speak, right? And thrive as well. And so what other options does she have? She does not have the wherewithal or the resources to go and build a national chain or even a small chain locally in the Bay Area, right? So the answer is, so can she put up a website, for example, right? Can she project her business on the website? Absolutely yes, and that's what happened. So she got wind of this approach and said, why can't I launch a website? And soon she did that. Within days she had a website up, right? And she put her product catalog on the web and hosted it. She just subscribed to $50 a month to one of those subscription models that you have, right, for an e-commerce site. So she was able to get the site up and running for a setup cost of about $200 to $500, and then a monthly subscription of $50, right? She was online. She's instantly global, right? Then she started putting things on Facebook. She is also a good user of Facebook, so she created a brand page and put her company's information on the brand page. Now she started getting inquiries from all over the world, and today I can tell you that more than about 30% of her revenue is coming from online purchases, right? It's just amazing. She's just a single store owner that transformed herself into a digital company pretty much, right, by becoming taking bold action of building an e-commerce site, right. So that's why I'm putting this technology and infrastructure as sort of the lifeblood of every enterprise. So without technology and infrastructure, you cannot survive in this digital world, right. You have to leverage technology and infrastructure to its extreme possibilities, right, and the potentials is enormous.